Today we are showcasing Lunar Mel, who's become one of my favorite champs. Now this is very cool, and I'm really excited to showcase her in a few different areas and see what she's capable of. Welcome everybody, my name is BearCozy. If you don't know me, I strive to make not only entertaining but also educational videos, and I like to make account progress videos, and in this case, I am showcasing Lunar Melizza. Now, Lunar Mel is really cool. I really like her. I actually like her a lot more than I thought I did. So here we go. Let's get into it. Let's showcase her off, and we're gonna see what she's good at. All right, so let's get into it. We're gonna showcase Lunar Mel. She is very good, and this is right now my arena team with Lunar Mel in there. So what is Lunar Mel good for? Well, the first thing is she's very good at locking out the enemy abilities, locking out all of their ultimates, and forcing them to taunt and forcing them to use their basics. So this is what I'm gonna do. On my team, I have Winstrix, Lunar Mel, and then I have Nathalia and Zatlux. That is the order priority that they go in. The enemy team has a Winstrix, so I'm gonna stun her, and this is not a showcase of my arena team. However, this is a showcase of Lunar Mel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick buff with Winstrix, and then Lunar Mel is going to go next, and we're going to take a look at just how good she is. Now, right now, Lunar Mel is actually really good. She's not only tanky, but she also AoE taunts everybody. She also has a stun on her special, which is awesome. And then if the enemy team did not have a Winstrix, I would, of course, go in with Sunder in Purgatory because she has the most focus on the team, and she just got buffed. Light heroes and dark heroes just had their focus increased, so that is really cool. She's like somewhere over 90 focus, and we're going to take a look at that. So what I typically do is if they don't have a Winstrix on the enemy team, I'll go in with Sunder in Purgatory, but since they do, I want to stun them and make sure their Winstrix doesn't get a turn. So what I do is let's go ahead and AoE, and this is where she shines. Not only does she do damage when she AoEs, but she also AoE targets everybody. Now, unfortunately, for whatever reason, it did not land on Winstrix in the back, but that is A-okay. It landed on Sierra, and Sierra instantly took a turn. So what Lunar Mel is really good for is not only AoE taunting the whole group, but her AoE taunt also breaks Brand's shields. So if the enemy team has Brand, and if they have shields, more often than not, depending on the size of the shields, Lunar Mel will actually break the shields. She will break Brand's shields off with her taunt, and then she will AoE because it still does damage. So it's a 2-to-1, right? It's a 2-for-1. It does damage, and then it breaks the shields, which is very cool. And then, of course, if the enemy team has a Nathalia, that kind of leaves her vulnerable because she no longer has shields, and her trait is no longer activated. So I'm going to just nuke these guys down, and then we're going to go into some other content. And I'm going to showcase her because she is very good, and she's a lot better than I gave her credit for. So there we go. We got our victory. I am in Plat. It just, of course, Arena just reset, so I'm in Plat 5. I usually hang out between Plat 5 and Plat 2. That's where I'm comfortable, so that's where I stay. Now, if we go ahead and look at Lunar Mel, there she goes. She's like a little centaur girl. She's really cool. And I actually have one ascension to give on her, which is cool. I'm glad that they updated these. These now glow, which is really nice. I didn't think they did. Now, her trait is active. I am looking for the 4th ascension. However, I don't have it right now. I do have the 3rd one, though, because I do have a copy. And if you don't know, light heroes and dark heroes, you cannot use potions on. You have to use copies of themselves, so it does take a while. So let's go ahead and ascend her. That'll give her 15% more base attack, which doesn't really help that much. But the next one is speed, and speed is going to be very helpful if I ever get another Lunar Mel. We'll see. So right now, this is what she looks like, and here is what she's wearing. If we look at her gear, she is in a revival set, and I did that on purpose. She is in 1 revival set, 1 raider set, and I did that on purpose because revival set restores 10% of her max health at the start of every turn, and then of course 20% if she's under half health. Hey, you're still watching the video. That means you're enjoying the content. And if you're enjoying the content, that means somebody else will also. Click the subscribe button below and help this video reach more people so they can enjoy it as well. So the idea here was, since she is taunting everybody, she is going to be taking all of the damage. Granted, it's all basic abilities from the enemy team, but some enemies still hit very hard, and since she's taken all of the damage from their basic abilities, sometimes counterattacks as well, The idea for me is to put her in a revival set. Now, if we look at her, not glyphs, if we look at her abilities, let's look at her abilities, and we'll start with Moongaze. Now, the reason why she's very, very good is upon the death of an ally, it reduces the cooldown of this ultimate's character's abilities by 1 turn. That right there is very, very good. Hopefully nobody dies. She is here to prevent our team from dying, and that's what she excels at. But if anybody dies, all of her abilities get reset by 1 turn, and then of course, hopefully that is after she has used her ultimate and her stun. Her basic ability deals 80% damage to an enemy, grants immune to this character for 1 turn, and of course immunity. This character will not be affected by subsequent negative effects, so negative effects will not land on her after she uses her basic, which is very, very nice. Her special is Javelin, and that is a stun for 1 turn. It does deal some damage, which is good. It's good. It's very, very good to break off any shields, anything like that, because it does deal some damage. And then it stuns, which is really, really nice. It's got a very long cooldown, unfortunately, but it is very, very good, and it does work very well with the Water Prison. You can cycle this one and the Water Prison back to back, so you get 2 turns of stun coverage. And of course, the thing that she is really, really known for, and she's really the best for, that would be her ultimate. Now, her ultimate deals 100% damage to all enemies, and that I've touched on before. She deals damage, and then she applies taunt on everybody, which is very, very cool. Now, the cool thing that I really like about her ultimate is this. It deals damage to all enemies and applies taunt for 1 turn, and then she has a 40% chance, and then, 60% chance when it's fully ranked up, fully leveled. She has 60% chance to apply taunt for 2 turns, and that is really, really good, because not only are you taunting everybody, the whole team, for guaranteed 1 turn, you also have 60% chance to taunt everybody for 1 more additional turn after that. And whoever doesn't get taunted the next turn, you just use the Javelin, you use her special, and you can stun them. So you're essentially locking out the enemy team for 2 full turns, while your team just unleashes, allowing your team to unleash, do what they have to do. And she is actually really good. In the beginning, I wasn't sure. When I looked at her and I said, she looks cool, she's got a cool design, but I personally don't care for horses. That's not something that I like. I like things with an engine. I like things that rev and make a lot of noise, and that's what I like. I know there are some people that like horses. Please don't flame me. I don't dislike horses. It's just not something that I enjoy, right? So for me, when I looked at her, I said, she looks cool. She's got a cool design. She's like a half centaur. I wasn't sure if she's good. When I looked at her damage, I'm like, man, the damage is very, very low. However, I found a very nice groove with her, and she is very, very good in arena, and then she's very good in Void Tower, and we can go look at that as well. So if we go into Void Tower, I am in Hard Void Tower. I'm only in floor 5, haven't played very much, but she's also in my Void Tower team, and my team is Brand, Nathalia, Zatlux, and Lunar Mel. And then, of course, for spells, I use Sunder and Purgatory to help, because Lunar Mel has a lot of focus, and she's very, very good at applying defense down. And then the Water Prison, which we talked about, interchange it, or I cycle it between her stun and the Water Prison stun, and that gives me the ability to lock out the enemies for 2 turns plus. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Now going into this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip ahead. Usually what I do is I will manual the first turn and save all of my abilities for turn 3. And that is going to be good, with the exception of Brand and Nathalia. But by the time they get there, everything is off of cooldown. There we go. Zatlux goes in, cleans them all up, which is very, very nice. This is Hard Void Tower, so it is a little bit harder than regular. I am just going to go ahead and use the basics with everybody. Nathalia is going to take a ton of damage. I really do not like that. That is not something that I like. Hopefully she won't die here, but I want to show off Lunar Mel. Hopefully Nathalia won't die. She does need to be a little faster. Right now she's not wearing speed boots, and she is tuned for Ash 12. I've been running Ash 12. Looks like Zatlux is going to die, which is unfortunate. All right, Zatlux going in, doing his thing, cleaning everybody up as usual. He almost dies. Wow, that was close. So we are on the last wave, and here's what Lunar Mel is good for. Lunar Mel right now is the fastest hero in my team, which is very, very nice. I would like her to go maybe after Brand, but she's very, very fast for Arena. Now, what she's good for is she will absorb all of the damage, protect my whole team, hopefully. And since she has the most focus, we're going to use Sunder and Purgatory on everybody. As you can see, defense down lands. And then, of course, that counteracts, I can't see their buffs right now, but right now in this rotation, Sunder and Purgatory counteracts the defense. They have increased the defense in this rotation, and if for any turn that they do not have defense down, their defense is increased by like 60%, which is crazy. And if they do have defense down, it not only nullifies them, but then it also applies a negative 30% defense. So there's a lot of things happening there. And we use her because she has the most focus. Then I'm going to go in and taunt. And of course, as you can tell, the enemy team is very, very tanky, so we cannot blast right through them. We're not going to be able to nuke our way through them. Hopefully, Zatlex won't die, but of course he will. So hopefully, the plan here is to use Brand. Zatlex is dead, unfortunately, but we should still be okay because I'm not showing off my team. I'm showing off Lunar Mel, and Lunar Mel's job is to protect the team, protect my team. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Nathalia. So right now, here's what's happening. Nathalia is going to nuke. I don't think she's going to kill anybody. She actually does almost everybody. Wow, that is impressive. So what happened there was Lunar Mel gets a taunt on everybody for 1 turn, guaranteed if you have enough focus. Then she has a 60% chance to taunt everybody for the next turn. And that locks them out. If they all get taunted for 2 turns, which oftentimes they do, you buy yourself 2 whole turns where your team can do whatever they need, and Lunar Mel will absorb all the damage. And then going into the next turn, we of course have the Javelin, and then we of course have the Water Prison, and you can lock out 2 more enemies. If you get taunts on everybody for 2 turns, you can use these and you can lock out 2 more enemies on the next turn, and that buys you almost 3 turns. And hopefully by the time those 2 turns are over, you will have killed at least 1 or 2 of the enemies, leaving the other 2 enemies completely stunned. And that is what Lunar Mel excels at. Going back to Lunar Mel, we've seen her in Arena, we've seen her in Hard Void Tower. She's actually pretty good on bosses in Endless Trial as well. I will not show you that, that's going to take some time. And of course, she's really, really good on the last boss in Endless Trial, Floor 3. Those guys are very, very, very tanky. And I bring her, I bring Brand, and I actually bring my my Poisoners, my Santas, and my Gangalo, and we just take our time, taunt everybody, and take our time stacking up poisons, and then over the next 3 or 4 turns, everybody dies. So right now, as I've mentioned, she is in Revival, primarily because she's absorbing a ton of damage, right? So every time she absorbs damage, every turn she gets healed, which is awesome. She is in a Raider set as well to make her quick. And right now, I have her in Speed Boots for Arena to make her go fast. They rolled really bad. However, they are 6-star Speed Boots, and I do need her in Arena. She helps me a ton, right? The Cane is A-OK. It's got 2 double speed rolls on that. The Helm has 2 double health rolls, which is really, really nice. And then we have a focus roll and a flat attack, which is not ideal, but that's why I stopped the code at 9. I could probably take it to 12, see if we get 1 more roll on health, and I'll do that when the next event is up. And then, of course, the rings. Defense ring, because we have a double speed roll. I would have liked a health ring on this, but defense works okay. Right now, I don't have a revival ring or another health ring with at least a double speed roll, and I need her very, very fast for Arena. And then, of course, Necklace has focus, double speed roll as well. So the name of the game is because I'm using her in Arena, because I'm using her in Void Tower, Hard Void Tower. I don't really use her in regular, not until the last like 2 or 3 floors where I need her. My team can pretty much solo, my Zatlex can pretty much solo the first 80 floors of regular Void Tower. But in Hard, I do use her, and I use her in Arena. And that is why I tried to get as many speed rolls as I could, as many substat speed rolls as well, and I put her in Speed Boots. If we look at the info, if we look at all of her stats, you could see that her health is a little bit low. It's at 14,000, and her speed is right at 200. So 200 speed is fairly quick, and her focus is at 93.5, which allows her to apply not only defense down, but also the AoE taunts, which is very, very nice. And what she really excels at is locking everybody out, locking out the enemy team, locking out their abilities, their ultimates, and protecting my team so my squishy nukers can unload and do their job so they don't die, because if my nukers die, it's over. And so she is very, very good as a protector. Now, I have used Bruzak in the past, and I've compared her to Bruzak, and I've actually, where's my Bruzak? There's my dude. Bruzak, I love the way he looks. However, he's a little niche. The AoE taunt does not land on everybody, which is okay. He only has a 70% chance, which is A-OK. He also has defense up as well, and his trait actually allows him to absorb all of the incoming damage when they are under 50%. So he is very, very niche. He's good, but I feel like Lunar Mel is very, very good, and she's a lot better. So after experimenting with them too, I am still planning on using them because I have Brand and because Lunar Mel taunts everybody. I actually use Brand for the defense up, so I don't need Bruzak. And then wherever Lunar Mel is, there she is. And I use her to lock out the enemy abilities and to protect my team. So, in a nutshell, she's a lot better than I gave her credit for originally. It took me some time to build her, but I'm really, really glad I built her. She is very, very good, and I'm really looking forward to pulling one more copy to get her that 15 more speed. That means she will most likely go before anybody else or before most of the enemies on the enemy team. So that is going to be it. I hope you liked this showcase of Lunar Mel. If you don't have her, or if you have her, I should say, if you have her and you're not using her, I know some of my friends have her, have not built her because they have not found a need for her, a place for her. They haven't found a groove. If you have her and if you're not using her, build her. Take her to 50, see how you like her, put her in as fast gear as you can. Give her as much speed as you can. And then if you can, put her in a nice revival set or a bunch of Terra sets. For me, I have a lot more revival gear than I have Terra gear. And it works out really nice because most of the time she stays full, especially going into Hard Void Tower. So that is the showcase. I hope you liked it. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button. That will help my channel to grow. These videos do take a lot of time to make and edit, and I really appreciate all of your help. Leave me a nice comment down below. Let me know if you have her, if you're using her, or if you're planning on using her. I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.